Weld, and I'm already running against Donald Trump in the Republican primaries. So, let's get one thing out of the way right at the beginning. Donald Trump is a raging racist, okay? He's a complete and thoroughgoing racist. And he made that choice, as a choice, a long time ago when he was engaged in the housing business in New York with his father. And he famously said, "We have ways of keeping people like them out of our projects," referring, of course, to people of color. He was convicted of that. And that apple didn't fall far from the tree. So he made that choice. Now the Republican Party in Washington, the National Republican Party, has a choice. And a lot of them like to think that it's a political choice. But it's not a political choice. It's a moral choice. And unless the Republican Party in Washington expressly rejects the racism of Donald Trump, they're going to come to be universally viewed as the party of racism in America. I don't propose to stand idly by and let that happen, and so I look forward to working closely with the NAACP as president on issues near and dear to me, such as education opportunity in the inner cities, school choice, charter schools, equalizing funding across school districts so the inner city minority districts don't get the short end of the stick as historically they have, on criminal justice reform, where a black person is 4 times as likely to get arrested for possessory marijuana as a white, 4 times as likely to get a jail sentence. The jail sentence is likely to be 4 times as long as for a white person. That's a 64-to-1 disparity. We're going to work on that. Thank you.
It's time for questions. Governor Weld, I'm asking you like I ask everyone else, particularly as you are in the president's party. Did you watch Mueller this morning talking about the president is not exonerated from obstruction of justice? And what are your thoughts?
Well, I almost didn't need to watch Bob this morning. Bob is my deputy in the Justice Department. I've known him forever. I read every word of the Mueller report. I was one of more than 1,000 former federal prosecutors who signed a document saying, yeah, the 10 examples of obstruction that Mueller cites, they make out the elements of the offense of obstruction of justice under 18 U.S. Code Section 1512. So that's 1,000 prosecutors, career people by and large. Mueller's report paints the most vivid picture of a scofflaw and a one-man crime wave as I've ever seen. He orders people to destroy documents, to lie. I say, I can't do that, that would be a lie. He says, what's your point? The man is a moral leper. He has no clue, no compass.
So should Donald Trump be impeached?
I think the House should start impeachment inquiry. That doesn't mean you take a vote tomorrow. I worked on the Nixon impeachment, and the House was 8 to 10 months, and that was a much less complex investigation than would be required for Mr. Trump. What people don't understand is if the president were impeached in the House, there was an investigation for 8 or 10 months, let's say they vote to send it over to the Senate. The Senate doesn't take a vote the next day. The House appoints 8 people to go manage the prosecution in the Senate, and that's another 6 months. By the time that was concluded, the election would be over. So the fear of Donald Trump getting acquitted by a totally partisan vote in September of 2020 and saying exonerated again, that's a baseless fear.
So issues of equality are being folded into the abortion debate. Where do you stand with the Medicaid issue and abortion?
Well, I've been pro-choice since the first day I was in politics on the abortion issue. I'll get to this later, but I intend as part of my coalition, I hope to build, to appeal to all women to vote for me in the primary against Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump is associated with the atrocious legislation recently coming out of Alabama and Georgia, which treats women as carriers, as chattel. It's just unthinkable And Mr. Trump and the Republican National Party seem to be content to sit still for that. And it's unconscionable. Medicaid was the other?
Yes, how Medicaid and abortion are now playing out in this
Well, I couldn't vote for the Hyde Amendment. I think you got to have fairness, so all women have equal access to reproductive freedom.
Global warming impacts us all, particularly in minority America. Just look at Katrina. Beyond rejoining the Paris Accord, how would you position the U.S. as a global leader in combating climate change?
I think climate change is a major issue. Mr. Trump, as you know, has a one-word platform for it: hoax. If nothing is done to lower the CO2 levels by 2030 or 2050, the polar ice cap will melt, all mountain glaciers around the world will melt. We'll have repetitions of Katrina in this country, which impact negatively upon communities of color disproportionately. You asked earlier, April, about Haiti. The problem in Haiti, the reason so many people were killed in the earthquake down there, was construction. So in addition to humanitarian aid, that's the island of Hispaniola. It's right on the line for earthquakes. We need to go down there and help Haiti rebuild, not just humanitarian aid.
All right, so you in Haiti, how much will it cost? What does your plan cost to help Haiti? Haiti is in need. It's the poorest country in the West.
Well, I know that, but to put Port-au-Prince back on its feet would be a drop in the bucket.
Not just Port-au-Prince.
No, I understand, but a drop in the bucket for what FEMA spends every year. I often like to say that to govern is to choose, and it's a matter of priorities. And, I think that when you have a humanitarian situation like that, that's going to happen again, crying out for assistance, I would pull the lever and say that's my priority. That's all you have to do is press in the United States.
So you're talking about the infrastructure of Haiti helping the people, but what about asylum? Cuba versus Haiti. Cuban asylum seekers come to the U.S. Haitian asylum seekers are sent back home because of the color.
That's ludicrous. You have to equalize that. I do think we should be kind to Cuba. Matter of fact, I would go back to the Obama policy and open that up. I think tourism and economic cooperation is the way to go there, and then you wouldn't have so many asylum seekers.
All right, okay. Why does Africa matter to the United States, and what would be your African policy?
Africa, where I've spent a good deal of time over the last 10 years, is the continent of the future, if you will. Maybe this is the Pacific century. Africa is the continent of the future. There are many misunderstandings about Africa. People think it's all dirt poor. There are a lot of African countries with compound annual growth rates of 10, 12, 16%. People don't know that. People like Donald Trump, who doesn't know anything about anything, refer to... I'm going to use a French word that Donald Trump used, not me, referred to, quote, a bunch of shithole countries, close quote, over there. That's Donald Trump. And Africa is a spectacular...
That's not a French word.
Oh, I thought it was. But, his policy is upside down and inside out. I love, I've been in a lot of countries there, and some are very rewarding. South Africa, some around Ramaphosa. I was over there, met with Trevor Manuel. I was great friends with Thabo Mbeki, who gave me the South African tie. Others are more difficult, the Democratic Republic of Congo. But, it breaks your heart. And one thing I was engaged in over there is teaching people out in the country to do subsistence farming instead of slash and burn. Because subsistence can go year after year. And the people there never wanted to do that because it meant they could be found by the gangs that were going to come to kill them.
We got 17 seconds for Q&A. Really fast. You've heard me ask about reparations. What are your thoughts? That's a big issue right now.
Reparations for past.
Yeah, for the past atrocity of slavery.
Well,
descendants of...
I would put a thumb pretty hard on the income inequality scale, and I think a lot has to be done there. I think a lot has to be done criminal justice for the... Senator Booker has a plan to get 17,000 people out of prison in the marijuana days. I'd go with that. That's where I'd go first.
Thank you, sir. It has been a pleasure. Our time is down. You can close.
Well, like I say, I'm Bill Weld, and I'm running against Donald Trump in the primaries. And so message to the people to whom I'm going to be speaking, and by the way, I'm not going to try to convert the Republican National Party or the Republican state committees. They're already lockstep with Trump, and they are his organization. But I'm speaking to a different coalition. I'm speaking to millennials who will get murdered by the debt, murdered by climate change. I'm speaking to women everywhere. I think that we need to broaden the electorate of people who will vote in that primary, and I'm saying to people, you can vote against Donald Trump twice. If you come in and vote in the Republican Party, that vote, for me, that vote's coming right out of Donald Trump's hide, and it's going to weaken him. There have been 5 presidents in modern times who've run for re-election and been challenged within their own party in a primary. All 5 of them lost. The other 5 times there was no primary, those presidents won. But Truman, Johnson, Ford, Carter, and George Bush 41 all lost because of the primary. And George Bush 41 lost when Pat Buchanan got only 37% of the vote in the New Hampshire primary, which I plan to win. So if everybody gets together and votes to the extent you can, see your way clear, in the Republican Party, we can send a strong 2-word message to Donald J. Trump as he packs his golf clubs, and that is, you're fired!
When you fight, you win. When you fight, so the bottom line is, this is one of the tools that you have in your toolbox. You're going to the polls armed. You're going to the polls armed. With that, thank you so much. April Ryan, over and out.
Thank you, April Ryan. Let's give April Ryan a big hand and all the candidates. Thank you, April. We are about to close out.